Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a grocery store aisle. Your toddler is on the floor, screaming at a volume that somehow echoes through the entire building. People glance over their carts. Someone sighs loudly. Another shopper shakes their head. You kneel down and say, "Stop crying, use your words." But the crying gets louder. So you try logic. "We can't buy that toy today. We already talked about this." Now they're kicking. At this point, it feels personal. It feels deliberate, almost manipulative. And that's the belief many parents carry into these moments, that tantrums are a strategy, that the child is trying to control the situation. But here's the biological truth most people never hear. Your toddler is not manipulating you. They're dysregulated. In fact, during a true tantrum, the part of the brain responsible for logic, empathy, and self-control is essentially offline. And when parents unknowingly respond in ways that make this neurological storm worse, the tantrum escalates. So today, we're breaking down 5 common parenting mistakes that unintentionally fuel tantrums, and what neuroscience says actually helps children calm down. Because once you understand what's happening inside a toddler's brain, everything changes. Before we talk about the mistakes, we need to understand something fundamental. Think of the brain as having 2 levels, the downstairs brain and the upstairs brain. The downstairs brain is the older, more primitive system. It includes structures like the amygdala, which is responsible for detecting threats and triggering emotional reactions: fear, anger, fight, flight, or freeze. It's fast, powerful, and automatic. Then there's the upstairs brain, the prefrontal cortex. This is where logic lives: decision-making, impulse control, empathy, problem-solving. But here's the crucial detail. In toddlers, the upstairs brain is still under construction. In fact, the prefrontal cortex won't fully mature until the mid-20s. So when a toddler melts down, what you're seeing is the downstairs brain taking control, while the upstairs brain temporarily shuts down. That means reasoning, negotiating, and lecturing literally cannot work in that moment. Which brings us to the first mistake. This is the classic response many parents default to: trying to reason with a child in the middle of the emotional storm. You might say things like, "If you calm down, we can talk about it," or "Crying won't help you get what you want." The intention is good, but here's what most parents miss. Logic requires the upstairs brain, and during a tantrum, the upstairs brain is offline. Trying to reason with a toddler in this moment is like trying to teach algebra during a fire alarm. The brain simply isn't available for that kind of processing. What actually helps first is regulation before explanation. Your child's nervous system needs to feel safe enough for the upstairs brain to come back online. That can look like a calm voice, a gentle presence, or simply sitting nearby without escalating the moment. Once the storm passes, then reasoning becomes possible, but during the storm, connection works better than correction. Here's a moment almost every parent recognizes. The screaming gets louder, your patience gets thinner, and suddenly your voice rises. "That's enough!" Now both of you are yelling. This reaction is incredibly human, but neurologically, something powerful is happening here. Emotions are contagious. Our brains contain mirror neuron systems that subconsciously match the emotional states of people around us. This is why stress spreads so quickly in families. When a parent escalates emotionally, the child's brain reads that energy as confirmation of danger. The downstairs brain ramps up even more. The tantrum intensifies. But when a parent stays calm, something different happens. The child's nervous system begins to co-regulate. This is where it gets scientifically interesting. Young children don't regulate emotions alone. They borrow regulation from the adults around them. Your calm voice, your slower breathing, your grounded presence. These signals communicate safety to the child's nervous system, which gradually allows the upstairs brain to come back online. In other words, your calm is contagious too. You've probably seen this scene before. A child is screaming in public. The parent quickly whispers, "If you stop crying, I'll buy you candy." Instant silence. Problem solved, at least temporarily. But from a learning perspective, something very important just happened. The child's brain made an association: tantrum to reward. This is basic behavior reinforcement. When a behavior is followed by a reward, the brain becomes more likely to repeat that behavior in the future. Which means the tantrum didn't just end, it was trained. But here's the nuance. Children still need comfort when they're overwhelmed. So the goal isn't ignoring the emotion, it's not rewarding the behavior that came from the dysregulation. Instead, parents can acknowledge the feeling without reinforcing the demand. For example, "I see you're really upset because you wanted the toy." This validates the emotional experience without teaching the brain that meltdowns unlock prizes. Over time, this helps children learn something deeper, that emotions are allowed, but boundaries still exist. For decades, one of the most common responses to tantrums has been the traditional time out, sending the child away to calm down alone. Sometimes this works, but for younger toddlers, it can backfire. Why? Because intense emotions already feel overwhelming and scary. And when a child is sent away during that moment, the brain can interpret it as rejection instead of regulation. Now, this doesn't mean discipline disappears, but modern child psychology has introduced another concept called time in. Instead of isolating the child, the parent stays nearby and helps guide the calming process. You might say something like, "You're having a really big feeling right now. I'm here with you." This approach teaches something incredibly valuable: that emotions are safe to experience and that relationships remain secure even during emotional storms. Over time, this builds the internal emotional regulation skills that toddlers simply don't have yet. Because regulation isn't something children magically develop, it's something they learn through repeated experiences of being guided through big emotions. Let's go back to the grocery store. Your toddler is crying. You feel the eyes of strangers. Maybe someone mutters under their breath. And suddenly, your focus shifts. Instead of helping your child regulate, your brain starts thinking, "People think I'm a bad parent." So you rush to end the tantrum as quickly as possible. Maybe you give in. Maybe you snap. Maybe you drag your child out in frustration. But here's the truth that many experienced parents eventually realize. The audience doesn't matter. The relationship does. Tantrums are not public performances. They're neurological events. And when parents prioritize the opinions of strangers over the needs of their child's nervous system, they often choose solutions that end the moment quickly, but teach the wrong long-term lesson. Children don't remember the strangers in the grocery store, but they do remember how their caregiver responded when they were overwhelmed. Was it anger, dismissal, or calm guidance? Those repeated experiences shape how the child eventually learns to handle their own emotions. Here's something surprising. Tantrums are actually a sign of brain development. They happen because toddlers are experiencing powerful emotions before they have the neural wiring to manage them. It's like giving someone a race car before they've learned how to drive. The energy is there, but the control system is still under construction. And every time a parent helps a child move from chaos back to calm, the brain is learning something. New neural pathways form. Emotional awareness grows. Self-regulation slowly strengthens. This process doesn't happen overnight. It happens across thousands of small moments. Moments where the adult becomes the steady nervous system the child can lean on. So the next time a tantrum happens, remember this. Your toddler isn't manipulating you. They're experiencing a neurological storm. And storms don't respond to lectures. They respond to calm leadership. Avoid the 5 mistakes that make tantrums worse: logical overload, emotional escalation, bribing, shaming or isolating, and reacting to public pressure. Instead, offer calm presence, clear boundaries, and connection. Because every time you guide a child from chaos back to calm, you're helping their brain learn how to regulate emotions for life. If you found this helpful and want more insights about the psychology and neuroscience of parenting, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this.